Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our final round of cybersecurity awareness training sessions for 2025. This will be the first of 8 sessions over the next 8 weeks, and we'll probably have a little bonus session for you at the end with some additional content. So welcome to our session today. My name is Vanessa Maresh. I am an empowerment specialist at Salt Essential IT, and I will be conducting this session today with you. Just a quick reminder that we will provide a recording of the session afterwards as well, which you are welcome to share with as many people as you believe will benefit. There will also be a test at the end, so do make your notes and do pay attention because there will be a test at the end. And for everybody who sort of submits the test, we will, at our next session, we will actually have a little prize. So we'll put everybody that submits the test into a lucky draw, and you'll stand the chance to win this very nifty gadget. Okay, so without further ado, let's start with our session. Today's session is all about threats and vulnerabilities on the internet. So our first 4 sessions do cover internet security, and the last 4 sessions is all about phishing because that's one of your top attack vectors. But for today, we're going to kick off with threats and vulnerabilities on the internet. But as an introduction to our sessions, I would like to play you a video. As you probably are already aware, this is a joint effort between Salt Essential IT and the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology. We signed a MOU in 2021, starting 2022, for 5 years, in which we have pledged to develop and present free cybersecurity awareness sessions to every person, every individual, every organization, every school, every old age home in Namibia. You're also welcome when you do the feedback form at the end. If you want us to come and deliver these sessions at schools or at your organization, we are happy to do that. It all comes to you absolutely free of charge. But as I said, just to provide the baseline information of what this initiative is about, I'd like to share a short video by our own Minister of ICT, just to set the stage and the tone for our sessions going forward. So bear with me as I share that video with you. Do let me know in the chats if you're having any issues hearing or seeing. I must say, if you are having any issues hearing or seeing, as a first step, you can always just leave and join the meeting again. That tends to solve most problems. But if there is internet connectivity issues on your side, you might be experiencing some problems, but you will get the recording where you can review the videos as well. So allow me to play you this a short clip from the Minister of ICT.
With the evolution of information communication technologies, Namibia as a developing country is no exception to cyber attacks and cybercrime. The growing cyber attacks jeopardize the purpose of digital participation and connectivity, as well as the integrity of Namibia's critical infrastructure. The Namibian government seeks to build a cyber-resilient nation. Hence, in line with cabinet endorsement, the Ministry of Information Communication Technology developed the National Cybersecurity Strategy and Awareness Raising Plan. The purpose of the awareness creation is to empower the nation's citizens with the knowledge and skills to make informed decisions when faced with potential cybercriminal activities, whether in general or at the workplace. The national document is a step towards building cybersecurity resilience and digital security to enable an innovative Namibia and attainment of social and economic growth. With this plan, the nation is prepared to respond effectively to the threats or attacks on network systems and services. Namibia will reap benefits and economic opportunities presented by the use of ICTs on the condition that the country's citizens are ready, capable, and vigilant against the threats that include phishing attacks, ransomware, cyberbullying, and child online vulnerability. The National Cybersecurity Strategy an awareness-raising plan helps to safeguard the citizens' privacy, educate and create awareness to safeguard the national critical information infrastructure, as well as ensure collaboration on cybersecurity to continuously improve the safety of vulnerable groups in cyberspace. The scourge of cybercrime has the potential to negatively impact the nation's ability to achieve its developmental objectives.
All right, let me just quickly check in here because I've got quite a few comments in the in the chat section that the video is not playing. Can I maybe see some thumbs up if someone is, are some people seeing the video playing and being able to hear the video? The thumbs up are there at the top next to the raise hand features, the actions. If someone can just, is anyone able to see the video? Okay, so Mary Rose says that the audio is perfect, no video showing. Let me try, video disappeared. Okay, but I stopped the, let me see. Let me try again. Is anybody able to see and hear the video? Can I ask that? Okay, let me try to share again, team. Let me try to share again. Share again. Let's give it another go. I will try to put the closed captions on for you so that if you can't hear, at least you will be able to read.
I can hear and see the video, Vanessa.
With the evolution of information communication technologies, Namibia as a developing country is no exception to cyber attacks and cybercrime. The growing cyber attacks jeopardize the purpose of digital participation and connectivity, as well as the integrity of Namibia's critical infrastructure. The Namibian government seeks to build a cyber-resilient nation. Hence, in line with Cabinet endorsement, the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology developed the National Cybersecurity Strategy and Awareness-Raising Plan. The purpose of the awareness creation is to empower the nation's citizens with the knowledge and skills to make informed decisions when faced with potential cybercriminal activities, whether in general or at the workplace. The national document is a step towards building cybersecurity resilience and digital security to enable an innovative Namibia and attainment of social and economic growth. With this plan, the nation is prepared to respond effectively to the threats or attacks on network systems and services. Namibia will reap benefits and economic opportunities presented by the use of ICTs on the condition that the country's citizens are ready, capable, and vigilant against the threats that include phishing attacks, ransomware, cyberbullying, and child online vulnerability. The National Cybersecurity Strategy and Awareness-Raising Plan helps to safeguard the citizens' privacy, educate and create awareness to safeguard the national critical information infrastructure, as well as ensure collaboration on cybersecurity to continuously improve the safety of vulnerable groups in the cyberspace. The scourge of cybercrime has the potential to negatively impact the nation's ability to achieve its developmental objectives. Namibia has encountered a rise in incidents of misuse of available internet platforms by criminals to carry out cyber attacks. These growing cyber threats disturb the purpose of digital participation and connectivity, as well as the integrity of our national critical information infrastructure. It is for this reason that the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, in collaboration with South Essential Information Technology, is hosting a series of awareness creation sessions for the Namibian nation. I therefore urge you all to join the ministry and South Essentials efforts to participate in these sessions in order to be equipped with the necessary skills in order to be safe on the internet, protect our nation's critical infrastructure, and make informed decisions should you fall victim or help those who fall victims to cyber attacks.
Okay, so I understand the video was playing a little bit towards the end. My apologies, everyone, for that. I will share an email afterwards, a feedback email, where we will share all of the links of the videos with you as well, in case you were experiencing any issues in either seeing or hearing. Please also do try to join or leave and join again. That usually sorts the issue. So let's give it a go. I'm going to share my screen now. And just maybe give me a thumbs up if you are able to see. It should be coming your way shortly. Do let me know if you can see my screen. Okay, excellent, wonderful. All right, so that video, just for in case you missed a little bit, that video is just our minister talking about, the problem of cybercrime that we're experiencing, and it's not just a Namibian problem, it's definitely an international problem. So it's something that impacts all of us, and I'm sure that everybody here has either experienced it themselves, they know about someone who's experienced it, or they've definitely read it in the media of cybercrime and how rife it is within our communities. So what we're going to talk about today in our first session is we're going to talk a little bit around cybercrime. Like I said, most of you should definitely know what that is, but we'll just go dig a little bit deeper. Then we're going to look at personal information. Personal information is one of the main ways that we fall victim to cyber attacks. It's either that we give our personal information. This personal information can be used to open accounts and do all kinds of things with. So, we really need to understand the concept of personal information and why it's so important that we keep it private. Then we're going to have a little look at risky spaces. So unfortunately, the risky spaces are everywhere, but we need to be aware, especially where we are at risk when we are operating online or when we are conducting business or on social online. And then finally, we'll have a look at social engineering. So social engineering is a technique that the cyber criminals use to actually get our personal information or to get access to our accounts. So we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive on social engineering. Then we'll end off with our activity test, and we'll leave some time for Q&A. I see that Johanna says poor network quality. That would be on your side, ma'am. If you can please try to close all the other applications that you have, just to try to have a bit more internet available to you. So that if you're getting that message like Johanna is, that is the internet issue. So again, you can try to leave and join again, see if that sorts the problem. But if you are experiencing bad internet on your side, unfortunately, you are going to have a bad experience. But do remember, we will share the recording afterwards, so you will be able to review that. All right, so let's jump in. Let's talk a little bit about cybercrime. I think that everybody is aware of what cybercrime is, maybe not in so much detail, but the cybercrime is basically just crime that is committed online or in a digital way. So we all have been very familiar with traditional crimes for many, many years. That is why we have to lock our doors. We can't leave our cars open. We can't leave our valuables in our cars. We have to have, maybe an alarm system or some locks. We have to have some way of protecting ourselves physically. And unfortunately, because we spend so much time online, businesses, organizations spend so much time online, we have to be online. A large part of that crime has now shifted to online. So cybercrime is just a crime that is committed with digital means or online. So traditionally, cybercrime includes everything from theft or embezzlement to data hacking and destruction. It actually rose about 600% as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, because then we were all just sent home with devices and we were just told to work from home without the proper education. Yes, we had the hardware and software, but nobody actually, or very few people actually got training as to how to conduct themselves online. So due to remote work and increase on working outside of corporate networks without the proper security and without our people actually being prepared. And this is what these training sessions really are about, is to prepare you and to protect yourself, your family, your friends, and your business when you are conducting or operating online. I think everybody is aware of all of the recent ransomware attacks that the country has been experiencing, all of our large telcos, a lot of government institutions, a lot of private institutions. And one of the sad things here is that it is not a matter of if, but when something like this will happen. And we have to be aware that if we don't create that awareness that these things are happening and we try to keep these things a secret and don't tell anybody about it, we actually become part of this criminal chain. So there's a responsibility on us to participate and to help to stop cybercrime. And we're going to hopefully teach you in these sessions how you can do that. So these sessions are not technical sessions. We want to show you in these sessions what you can do on a practical nature to help reduce this problem. But just on the screen, there are some stats there. You'll see there on the right-hand side, the most common forms of cybercrime. This is not technical sessions, as I said, so we're not going to take you into the nitty-gritty of what is a SQL injection and a denial of service attack. That's not the idea. We want to equip you to protect yourself. So don't be afraid that it's going to be technical. It hopefully is not going to be technical. Another thing that we need to really take ownership of and realize is that most of these crimes are able to be committed because of us, the people using our company's tools, or us using social media, us using WhatsApp. The criminals cannot really get into your systems, your work systems, your own personal systems if you don't let them in. So the responsibility is with you. You really are the last line of defense, and how you conduct yourself online really matters and can make the difference between if you yourself, a family member, a friend, or the business will suffer a cyber attack. So we have to take that responsibility and understand that no matter how good software, the best in the world software and hardware you can use, there will always be zero-day attacks. And we'll look a little bit of zero-day attacks later in our sessions, but what's important here is that you are here today and you are learning how, you are going to learn how to protect yourself, your business, and your family. So the first thing that is of critical importance is personal information or personal data. It is any information that relates to a specific person. So it's information that can be used to identify you, all right? So some of the most obvious examples here is a person's name, mailing address, email address, all of those things. And what's important here is it's not just a singular thing. So it's not just one thing that can be used to identify you. Sometimes it can be used in conjunction with each other. So maybe it will be your pet's name in combination with your birthday. Those two things together might be your password, and that is personal information. So how we treat personal information, who we give access to personal information, that is very, very important, because personal information can be used to do many, many things, including impersonate you or impersonate other people. So let me play you a short clip on personally identified information, or PII. Very important that we understand this concept. So bear with me. I really hope you guys will be able to see the video and hear it as well. But do remember there will be that recording. Let me just quickly find it for you. Seems to have disappeared. Okay, there we go. Yeah, sorry, team. I'm just taking my video off just to spare the internet. Okay, here we go. Here's a clip for you on PII, or personally identifiable information.
What is PII? PII is personally identifiable information that includes a person's name, the names of family or friends, addresses, dates and places of birth, social security numbers, account numbers,
Right, it's come to my attention that again, people could not see, so let me try to share again. I'm going to try to share again, see if that works. Let's see.
Identifiable information. What is PII? PII is personally identifiable information that includes a person's name, the names of family or friends, addresses, dates and places of birth, social security numbers, account numbers, and even employee ID numbers. A personal data breach occurs when PII is released to an unauthorized actor through email phishing attacks, ransomware, and even exploiting a victim's digital footprints. A digital footprint could be a potential piece of PII that exists on the internet as a result of a person's online activity, easily harvested and then exploited by a threat actor. Cybercriminals can post ads on the dark web selling one's PII. The identities are then bought by thieves to take part in tax fraud, open fake accounts, to apply for credit cards, apply for work, apply for a place to live, and other exploitative crimes. Attackers can gather PII from anywhere, including public forums and social media. Every type of organization, businesses, clinics, and even schools has PII that needs to be protected. Security breaches that involve this information put anyone's confidentiality in jeopardy and are becoming more common, especially among children. On average, more than 1 million children under the age of 18 in the United States report identity theft in a given year. When a school's information is breached, it can take years for a family to notice their child's information has been compromised. What can organizations do to prevent personal data breaches? Key factors include undergoing dark web scans to identify threats or weak points, ensuring staff is updated on security practices and training, and teaching good digital citizenship. Additionally, staff should continue to be wary of links and attachments in emails, utilize multi-factor authentication when creating new online accounts, and report any suspicious emails to your IT department.
All right, so that was personal information. Let me just get out of here. Team, I've noticed, I think it's when I try to share a window with that there's issues with the video. So I'll just share my whole screen going forward. Nothing dodgy on there. I'm just sharing the PowerPoint again, so please let me know that you can see it in the chat or with some thumbs. And then Akim, your hand has been up for a really long time. I think you can put it down unless you want to say something. Okay. Thanks everybody. Okay, so next up, after the personal information, we come to the risky spaces. Now, unfortunately, most spaces on the internet are risky. It's sort of like if you try to compare it to the real world, there are, there's potentially criminals lurking around everywhere. And we have to make sure that we ourselves and our houses are protected, that we've got the proper security systems in place, then that we ourselves, for example, are not walking around flashing money everywhere and it's safely in a bag, which is connected to our body in some way. But we operate in a world where we don't have control over what the criminals are doing around us, and it doesn't always come out so clearly when we are online, because it's so easy to impersonate things online. Nothing is as it seems, or things easily aren't what they seem. So sometimes we are a bit lax about what we show online in these risky spaces, and we have to be aware that just like in the real world, online also has its criminals lurking around, and potentially if we are leaving ourselves open, then we will be attacked and we will become a victim. So all of the places that you see there on the screen are risky spaces. This includes social media, the internet browsers, yes, believe it or not, even WhatsApp, even emails. Everything is a potentially risky space. And this is because exactly that we can't always recognize, or we don't always understand what we are making available to others. So in these sessions, we're going to actually teach you how to protect yourself by securing your online accounts. So similar to the real world, if you don't have burglar bars on a door, or you don't have some form of stopping people from coming in, then they can just come in. And that's what happens with social media or our online accounts. If we don't protect ourselves with passwords and multi-factor authentication, anyone can come into your house, into your room. And that's when they end up stealing things or taking things, is when we let them in. So we're going to teach you in these sessions how to protect yourselves, how to put your multi-factor on, because unfortunately a password simply isn't enough. And when we talk about passwords, there's also some do's and don'ts. We'll get to that. But the message here today is that just like in the real world, the online world, we cannot leave our doors open. We cannot leave a way in for the criminals. We have to make it difficult for them to get in. And that's what we want to do. So another thing that we need to realize, and especially about social media, what we don't always realize is these platforms were built to generate money. So maybe with a show of thumbs again, who can tell me who has a Gmail account? Need to see some thumbs. I know we have Gmails. Yes. Okay. Lots of us have Gmail. Now, did you read the terms and conditions when you signed up for that Gmail account? Did you read the terms and conditions? Put for me in the chat if you read the terms and conditions. I want to know. Now there's silence. So what we need to understand about Google and about Facebook and about WhatsApp and about all of these platforms, they are free. And if they are free platforms, how do they pay salaries? Google employs millions of people all over the world. So how do they pay salaries if all of these things are free? We pay these salaries. We are the product. Our likes, our posts, our shares, our comments, those things are all used to position advertising messages and marketing messages. Yes, Rocky, I know it's too long to read, but would you sign a contract with the bank? Would you sign a contract with the bank without reading it? This is the same thing. We sign a contract. Those terms and conditions are a contract. You are giving things to Google. You are giving things to Facebook and Instagram. And it's your information that you're giving to them to use for marketing purposes. So what happens here is we don't read the terms and conditions, and many times we are giving access to our device. We're telling Google it's okay that you know where I am. You've got my location. We're telling Facebook it's okay if you use my posts and my likes to position marketing and advertising. And if we don't have those accounts protected, people can come in and actually take our personal information. It is a Bible to read, but guys, you have AI. Go chat GPT it. Go copy paste those terms and conditions. Go chat GPT it. It's really important because people think, who thinks their device is listening to them? Whose device is listening to them? You meet someone at an event, you get their mobile phone number, you WhatsApp them, and the next day they pop up in your Facebook feed. Yeah, you agreed to that. You agreed to that. You said it's okay. And remember, Facebook, Mr. Zuckerberg, he now actually owns Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, and a Messenger. Those are now all in one big happy family. But this puts our information at risk. Yes, it's happened to me as well. Those are the terms and conditions we didn't read. So then we can't understand why criminals can get a hold of our OTPs. When we use TikTok, we're actually giving TikTok free range. They own your pictures and your posts. They can copy paste from your device. So it's super important that we read those terms and conditions and we know what we're letting ourselves in for, because this is how the cyber criminals can get in. Unfortunately, those platforms are also not very secure. So it's very easy to get in and potentially get to other parts of your device or into other online accounts. And then we also tend to use the same password we use for our social media, for our work or our banking, and then we make it super easy. It's like having the same key for all of the rooms in your house and your garage and your gate and your office. So team, you need to read the terms and conditions. You need to know what you're letting yourself in for. And yes, sometimes it's okay. I've read terms and conditions. I understand what Facebook is doing with my information. I understand what Google is doing. For me personally, that's okay. But we have to make sure our online accounts are protected so that bad people can't get in and do bad things with our accounts. We're going to get to that later. And when I just mentioned something before I move on to free Wi-Fi, on WhatsApp. Yes, WhatsApp is end-to-end encrypted. That is true. But you don't know what people are doing on the other end with your WhatsApps, with your voice notes, with the pictures you're sharing. They could be uploading it to Google Drive. They could be sharing it. And you know what happens when we upload things to Google Drive and our accounts are not protected? The criminals can get a hold of those voice notes. They can create deep fake voice notes from our voices. Your husband could be leaving you a message telling you to e-wallet him some money, but it's not him. It was built from voice notes that were available online. So please, team, we need to read the terms and conditions, and we need to understand what's going on. Even if you have to chat GPT this or co-pilot this, go copy paste those terms and conditions into AI and let it explain it to you in layman's language and make it shorter, but you have to know what you are giving away. All right, we're going to have focus sessions specifically on social media, on WhatsApp, on TikTok, those in subsequent sessions. But just for today, please, you need to be aware what you are giving organizations, platforms access to. So that brings you to the free Wi-Fi. So unfortunately, there is no such thing as free. There is no such thing as free. I repeat, the free Wi-Fi is accessible by everyone. You, me, whoever is using it. And we don't know, it can be being used by criminals as well. All we see when we connect to the Wi-Fi are all the little device names over there. That brings me to it. You cannot have your device name your own name, because now if you're sitting using the free Wi-Fi at Grove Mall or at Burnhill Mall, wherever you are, and up pops your real name, you're actually putting yourself in potential physical danger here. So we have to understand that the free Wi-Fi comes at a price, and that price is that everyone using the free Wi-Fi can see who's on the Wi-Fi and potentially get into your device using the free Wi-Fi. It's not secure, so please be wary of the free Wi-Fi. It's not to say you can never use the free Wi-Fi. That's not what we're saying. We are saying be wary, do not transact on any financials, log into any accounts, or expose any personal information such as passwords, usernames, banking, anything like that when you're on the free Wi-Fi. This is why so much fraud occurs when we are on in airports, because everybody's using the free Wi-Fi and the criminals know it. And unfortunately, we use that free Wi-Fi to pay things via credit card, and then we expose our credit card details and potentially our those little numbers at the back of the card even. And that's why so much fraud happens when we are at airports. So please be wary of the free Wi-Fi. Don't ever share any personal information. Do any financial transactions when you're using the free Wi-Fi, or expose any of your personal details or login information when using the free Wi-Fi. Okay, next up, let's have a look at types of cyber attacks. Now, I promised you that this was not going to be technical, and it will not be technical, but there are two you do need to be aware of. The first one you do need to be aware of is malware. Malware is software that's specifically designed to disrupt, damage, or gain unauthorized access to a computer system. You have to be aware of malware. Malware is the opposite of software. It is the evil twin brother of software. It is the thing that actually, like ransomware, it can get into the systems, lock you out of systems. It breaks, damage, or disrupts tools, technology tools. That is usually what we download or what we click on. If we click on a link, we download, and if it's onto our device, it can spread to others, and it can compromise either our own device, or it can even compromise the whole business. This is exactly what happened, or is still happening with a lot of businesses today. People click, they download, they install malware or ransomware, and then that locks them out of their systems, and they cannot operate anymore. People's businesses or organizations stand still. The next one we need to be aware of is domain spoofing. Domain spoofing is a common form of phishing which occurs when an attacker appears to use a company's domain to impersonate a company or one of its employees. This can be done by sending emails with false domain names which appear legitimate, or by setting up websites with slightly altered characters that read as correct. So I'll give you an example of this. Our website is salt.na. So what the criminals will typically do is they will go online and they will buy something that's very similar like salt. Something maybe like salt, SOLT.na. And then they will go and build a website which looks exactly like our website, and they will send email addresses with the people working at that organization, and there's just that one little difference in the email address or in the domain name. That is domain spoofing, and that is also one of the top ways that we are actually phished, is when a domain is spoofed. So you do need to be aware of those two concepts. Okay, so the next up, we're going to look at ways to get you. I'm going to spend a little bit of time here today with this video on AI specifically. I think that everybody is very aware of what is going on with the deep fakes on social media. And again, it's not about you being able to see, oh, this guy that's talking here looks familiar, but I have to try and spot the deep fake. So maybe the one eye is bigger than the other one, or whatever the case may be. That is not it. Believe me, deep fakes will get better and better and better. That is not the way for you to spot a potential cyber attack or scam. There are signs that you need to be aware of, red flags you need to be aware of. So let me play you this clip. Because AI is so prevalent being used, I want to play you this clip. Okay, bear with me. Okay, just let me quickly share. I want to make sure I share this the right way so that I'm going to try and play it from the presentation. Maybe that also works well. So let me see if you let me know if you guys can hear. Can you hear and see? Oh, let me rather try this one. Okay. I have to share with sound. Please let me know if you have
Welcome
any
to today's
issues hearing.
cybersecurity awareness session. In this video, we're exploring one of the most pressing topics in technology, emerging AI-driven threats. Specifically, how artificial intelligence is transforming phishing attacks, fueling the rise of deepfakes, and powering new generations of cyber attacks. AI is not just shaping industries positively, it's also being weaponized by cybercriminals, and understanding these threats is the first step to defending against them. Part 1. The evolution of phishing 115. Phishing used to be relatively easy to spot: poor grammar, suspicious links, or unusual requests. But today, AI has made phishing smarter and far more dangerous. Cybercriminals are now using generative AI tools to craft convincing emails in any language, free of spelling mistakes, mimic the tone and style of CEOs, managers, or even colleagues, launch large-scale personalized phishing campaigns in minutes. We're also seeing voice phishing or vishing, where AI-generated voices can impersonate someone you know. Imagine receiving a phone call that sounds exactly like your boss, asking you to approve a payment. Without proper verification, this is extremely hard to detect. Part 2. The rise of deepfakes. Next, let's talk about deepfakes. These are AI-generated images, videos, or audio recordings that appear real but are completely fake. Deepfakes have already been used to spread misinformation during elections, impersonate executives on video calls to trick employees into sending money, damage reputations by creating fake video evidence. As the technology gets better, the human eye alone can't always distinguish a deepfake from reality. That means businesses, governments, and individuals need new detection tools and awareness training to avoid being manipulated. Part 3. AI-powered cyber attacks, 5 o'clock. AI isn't just being used for phishing and deepfakes, it's also powering full-scale cyber attacks. Here are a few examples. Automated hacking. AI can scan networks for vulnerabilities much faster than humans. Adaptive malware. Malware that learns from security defenses and changes its behavior to avoid detection. Data poisoning. Attacking machine learning systems by feeding them false or misleading data. AI-powered botnets. Networks of compromised devices that launch coordinated attacks with machine-like precision. This combination of speed, scale, and intelligence makes AI-driven attacks some of the hardest to defend against. Part 4. How to defend against AI threats. The good news is that AI can also be part of the solution. Organizations are now using artificial intelligence for threat detection, spotting unusual patterns in emails, logins, or network traffic. Fraud prevention, identifying suspicious transactions before they go through. Deepfake detection, analyzing digital fingerprints in videos and audio files. security automation, responding to attacks in real time without waiting for human intervention. But technology alone isn't enough. Cybersecurity awareness and strong human judgment are still critical. Always verify requests through a second channel, be skeptical of unexpected communications, and stay informed about emerging threats.
All right. So, yes, AI is being used, unfortunately. Now, remember, AI is not good or bad. It's not a human being. Doesn't have judgment, doesn't have morality. It is used by people. So, unfortunately, bad people are using this technology to do bad things. Now, I did mention earlier, you can also use it to help you decode the terms and conditions. That's a good thing that can be used for. But unfortunately, we have to be aware that it's just going to get worse. Businesses do need to invest in AI-driven cybersecurity solutions to protect themselves, and we need to be aware of the signs much more than being able to spot if AI is involved, because believe me, AI is involved in some way these days. So I'm just going to take you through another clip. Whoops, not that clip, of some sneaky scams in 2025. So I know we're almost at the end of 2025, but they're still around. Guys, the scams can change their clothing, but underneath all of that, they are all after one thing, which is our personal information and making money. So you do need to be aware of all the different kinds of scams, but more than that, you need to be aware of the signs of phishing, of the signs of a potential cyber attack. So we have to be aware of that, and we're going to teach you those signs. And as soon as those signs are there, we are going to have those alarm bells go off in our heads, and then we're going to know what to do. We're going to teach you how to do that. But let me play you a short clip on the sneaky scams in 2025.
With so many new scams popping up every year, it can feel impossible to keep your guard up. Are you sure you can spot the red flags before it's too late? Welcome back to the Scam Smart channel, where we're dedicated to keeping you safe and secure online. Today we're going to talk about the sneaky scams to look out for in 2025. When it comes to recognizing these scams, there are a few tools and resources you'll need to have in your arsenal. You'll want to stay up to date on the latest online resources like fraud alerts, scams databases, or subscribe to a channel like Scam Smart. And you'll need to develop some critical thinking skills to help you spot the red flags. One of the most common scams to watch out for is the classic phishing scam. Scammers will send you an email or message that looks like it's from a legitimate company, like your bank or a popular online retailer, and ask you to click on a link or provide sensitive information. But here's the thing. Legitimate companies will never ask you to do this via email or message. If you get a suspicious email, always go directly to the company's website or app to check if it's real. Another scam to watch out for is the fake online shopping scam. Scammers will set up fake online stores that look real, but are actually just a front to steal your money. They might offer super cheap prices or fake discounts to lure you in, but when you try to make a purchase, they'll take your money and disappear. The key to avoiding this scam is to do your research. Check for reviews, ratings, and a physical address before making a purchase. Investment scams are also on the rise. Scammers will promise you high returns on an investment, but it's all just a lie. They'll take your money and use it to fund their own lavish lifestyles. The key to avoiding this scam is to be wary of any investment opportunity that seems too good to be true. If it sounds like a guaranteed way to make money quickly, it's probably a scam. Finally, look out for the romance scam. Scammers will pose as a romantic interest online, building up a fake relationship to gain your trust. And with AI-generated content now, their ultimate goal is to steal your money or personal information. The key to avoiding this scam is to be cautious when meeting people online. Don't send money or personal information to someone you haven't met in person. You'll be surprised at how convincing scammers can be. To safeguard against these scams, it's essential to be proactive. Make sure you're using security software to protect your devices, and always verify the sources of any emails, messages, or websites you visit. And most importantly, maintain a healthy dose of skepticism if something seems too good to be true. It probably is.
All right, so these, like I said, the scammers just dress up in different clothes or look at what is trendy in the world. When we had COVID, they used that. When we had the war in the Ukraine, they used that. The romance schemes and all of that are persistent, but the message here is we'll teach you what the signs of the scam is. If, like I said, if it's too good to be true, if it involves money, all of that, then you know to be wary. So I want to play you one final clip because we said we would be looking at social engineering. So, this is now actually the result of when we have our personal information lying around online, or people get access to it, they get into our accounts. But this video really describes exactly how this, or one of the ways that this happens, which is a social engineering attack. So I want to play you this clip as the last clip of our session today, just to explain how this is actually executed. So the criminals get your personal information, they get access to your accounts, and what can actually happen. So let me share that clip with you.
Why did you become a hacker?
I don't really know what it means to become a hacker. That's basically some random person in a hoodie who stays up all night writing coding, trying to crack people's passwords. That's not me. I just stalk people and see what they're into and what makes them click. I don't think that's a bad job.
After its success in 2018, startup Lion Investments has just been listed on the Namibian Stock Exchange.
So you see this as a job?
Well, I put a lot of work into this. You can't be lazy. It takes time to research everything you need to know, like figuring out who the key players are, get to know them, their families, friends, who and what they care about. You need to understand the company's organizational structure. I get most of my information on the company's website. If that doesn't help, I go straight to the sales department. They're always so excited and willing to help. They're hungry for sales. Problem is, people are too trusting. They don't pay attention to details, but I do. Details matter, and that is what I'm good at. The aim is to make it completely believable, and it must look familiar. That is why research is important. It's not just some generic piece of spam, it's an email from their boss with a company's signature. The email is drafted in the voice of their boss. It's exactly what he would or she would say if they were writing it.
What tools do you use to get in?
Someone out there already wrote all the code that doesn't actually attack. My job is just to use it in the attachment. My skills lie in the ability to get people to click and open that attachment. I always wondered what it would be like when the whole thing unfolds on their end and the panic sets in.
Hi Joseph, Agnes here in sales. Our invoicing and quotation systems are not working. We're getting calls from customers saying there are weird numbers appearing on them. Can you give me a call when you get this?
Hi Theophilus, are you on your way back to the office? Something is going on with the file server.
Apparently there's a malware hack targeting our main servers.
Just pay the ransom. We don't have a choice. We're losing thousands every minute we are down. Customers are starting to notice. Just pay it. Put every single person on getting us up and running again. That is the priority now. Okay, it's done. We have a huge problem. The ransomware was just a distraction. They've got in. They have all our data, customer personal information, our financials, everything.
Lion Investments is spinning from the news that hackers have released all personal information of hundreds of clients.
Trouble continues at the Lion Investment today as the company has filed for bankruptcy. CEO Pete Trump is stepping down after what seems to be turning out to be one of the worst breaches of personal information in recent history.
Do you feel bad about releasing the confidential and personal information, all the financials, all the people that lost their jobs, their families?
Well, all I did was get the files. I was not the one who decided to release them. Someone else had their reasons for that, and that is above my pay grade. I was paid to do a job and I did it well. Isn't that what is expected of everyone?
All right. So that is how it is executed. They get hold of personal information, they impersonate you, somebody clicks on a piece of communication or a phishing link, and they're in. This is what's happened to our telcos, our many organizations that have been ransomware this year. So that's why we say that the personal or the responsibility relies with each and every one of us, not just to protect our organizations, but ourselves. These include scams, where people are trying to fish for personal information. And guys, we need to realize that everything is on the dark web now with all the ransomware attacks, all of our personal information. If you've done any transactions, you've provided your ID, maybe your home address, anything like that to any of these organizations that were the victim of ransomware, then all your stuff is on the dark web. So we're going to go through in our subsequent sessions, we're going to look at how you can find out if you have been compromised on the dark web, but I can almost guarantee you that you are there. That's why we need to be especially vigilant, not just with giving personal information, but if personal information is offered to us, if it is given to us. So in other words, if someone phones you from telecom or Paratus or MTC or the bank or whoever, and they tell you, hi, are you Mrs. So-and-so, ID number such and such, telephone number such and such, address such and such, you cannot trust them. They have this information. It is on the dark web. The criminals have access to your information, and they can then lure you with having this information into this trusted feeling. So please do not give or always verify legitimacy of a request in a different way. If the person phoned you, you say, I'll phone you back. Phone the actual bank, phone the actual organization. Is it really a competition? You have to remain skeptical and apply critical thinking. So that is it for our session today. On the screen, you will see there is a little QR code you can scan with a telephone number. That's actually a WhatsApp number. You can WhatsApp that number. This is iSecure Bot. This is also an initiative by MICT and SALT. It's a little WhatsApp info bot that will help you when you are having any kind of questions or anything. If you need any assistance, many times, these things happen when you don't have access to professionals or to people that can help us. Our Facebook has been hacked, Instagram has been hacked. What do we do? How do we fix it? How do we build strong passwords? That is the number. You can just send it a hi on WhatsApp, hi, and start interacting with it. You can even leave it voice notes. So please do interact with iSecure Bot. Share it with everybody. It's a free service that comes to you to help keep you secure. So last but not least, we've come to the end of our session today. We'll have another one next week, same time, same place. I'm going to open for Q&A now. You're welcome to give me your comments. I'll also go through the comments that are already there. But please do scan in the QR code. I'll also put it in the chat for you. That is the link to the test. That is the link to the test. And remember what I said, we will be giving away a little goodie as in a lucky draw for everybody who actually participate in the test. So you need to go and submit that test to be in the running. I'll put the link for you also in the chat. There's the link, there's the QR code. Please go and scan. You can have until next week to finish it. MK says Forex traders. Yes, that's unfortunately so. We're going to learn about the signs of phishing. We've got something in the Q&A as well. Let me just read that. We've got France K. The problem with the apps we download is that when we do not agree to their T's and C's to use our info to a certain extent, they don't allow us to finalize creating our accounts. That is true, France. But the point is that if you are not comfortable with what they want to do with your data, your information, your device, then you don't use the service. Okay? So I also use Gmail. I know what Google is doing with my data. I'm living with it, but I do not share confidential private information on Gmail. I make sure that even my Gmail has been multi-factor authenticated, my Google account. I make sure that my accounts at least are secure, but I know what they are doing, and at least I know what they are doing with my information. Okay, so you are welcome to unmute yourself, ask a question. Thanks, Grace. She put the WhatsApp bot number there for you as well in the chat. The floor is open. Any questions or comments? There's a hand up. Angala Sakias. It's been up for a while, though. I think it's an old hand. Angala, do you want to say something? Nothing? Anybody
Yeah.
else? Oh,
Can
sure.
you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you. Go for it. Hi. Hello.
No, it is just a good session. Even though I joined late, it's really a good session, and I know you will proceed with us next week. You say the same time, eh? Same time,
Yes,
same
yes,
date.
yes. Definitely,
Okay.
definitely, Angala. We'll share an updated calendar invite so that it sits in your calendar for next week. You'll also get an email reminder an hour before, but we will definitely do it. We'll definitely do it next week. We'll continue and we'll share the recording with everybody who's on today so you can review it in your own time.
Thank you.
Okay. If there are no other questions or comments, then I'm going to close the session for today. Please remember to do that test. We'll also share it in the follow-up email. Stand a chance to win. Thank you, everybody who joined today. We really appreciate you. Go spend the weekend. Go secure your accounts. Go put on your multi-factor. We're going to show you how in the next session, but go and at least read those terms and conditions so you know what you are exposing. Thank you, everybody. May you have a fantastic rainy Friday. And we'll see you again next week, same time, same place.